Hey you guys, it's me Monday. I first want to apologize that my video is late because it takes like 5 hours for it to upload and it's 8:38 p.m. So I would like to explain myself real quick on why it is so late. I like to make my video a day or two in advance, but the thing is I've been sick and I worked Friday, Saturday, and Sunday, all weird shifts like 1 to 8, 2 to 8, and 1:30 to 7:30. Very gross hours that were making it very impossible to make my video. And before that I was sick. And you can probably still tell in my voice that I'm trying to recover. And Monday, which is today, I was going to make it last night, but my girlfriend came to spend the night. And she didn't leave till like 8 in the morning. I only had 2 hours of sleep. Not because of nothing, dirty, but because we just kind of stayed up and cuddled and talked all night. Which is a bad idea when, you have plans the next morning. So I got like 2 hours of sleep, and then I had to go dress shopping for a masquerade party I'm going to Saturday. So then after that I was like, okay, it's only 2:30, I get to make my video. Then Mom was like, well, we're going to have a cookout tonight, so how about you invite Christine and your other friend? So I invite them, and then they just left like 15 minutes ago. And now here I am. Anyway, we are on to the next topic of coming out to yourself. I hate to be very stereotypical, but for as long as I can remember, I've always known my sexuality. I've always known that I was attracted to women and men. But, so because of that, it's kind of hard to pinpoint. And I know I've told people one age and people another, but I'm just pretty much guesstimating. I need to write it down so I don't keep guesstimating. Anyway, I guess I started noticing I liked girls and guys when people started noticing that they liked the opposite gender, I guess. I wasn't the case of, oh my gosh, I'm bisexual. It was never a very shocking revelation. So when I was about, I'd say, like 8, maybe, I had a crush on my childhood best friend. Not Coco. It's another childhood best friend. I will tell anyone who asks, because the only reason I'm not saying who it is because it's really embarrassing and I try to forget it happened. But anyway, and it was a girl, and I didn't see anything weird about it, I guess. And man, I had a huge crush on her. Oh my gosh. Like, I would like wait till she was asleep and I would like scoot closer to her, or I would hold her hand and she'd be like, what are you doing? And I'd be like, nothing. Don't best friends hold hands? It's sad. And I think I started realizing that it was socially wrong when one time when I was about 9, Mom and I were watching TV, and I randomly looked at her and I was like, hey, can 2 women get married? And she very, very sharply said, no, they can't. And I never mentioned it again because I was like, oh, well, maybe it is not the best thing. So, although I had that huge crush on my childhood best friend, I didn't do anything about it, obviously, except I'd try to figure out what sexuality she was. But, like, again, you don't know what sexuality is, so I'd just be like, who do you have a crush on? And she would mention some guy, and I'd be like, oh. And I'd, like, cry. Fun time. But, when I was about 12, was when I started, like, realizing, like, the terms and everything. And that's when the confusion started. I don't think I've ever been emotionally satisfied with calling myself bisexual. So I would go from being lesbian to trying to be straight, but I would just hate the term bisexual. And it's just recently when I decided that it's okay. I guess it's because of the stereotype. I don't know. But anyway, so this is a funny story to me at least. when I was about 12, I was on the computer. I was on a website called Hobo Hotel. Yeah. And I didn't want the guy people to hit on me, so I put myself as a gay girl. And then girls would start hitting on me, and I would get like butterflies, and so I was so confused, and they'd say the term lesbian and bisexual. And, you know, I had only said gay because, you know, at that age you're kind of joking with people and being like, oh, that's so gay and stuff. So, you know, it's always this kind of joke, I guess. And then when I heard the terms like lesbian, bisexual, I was like, what is that? I don't understand it. I've never heard of it. And I googled it, and lesbian, I was like, it's almost like me. But when I saw bisexual, I was like, oh my gosh. So I was in this bedroom, and the TV was on, I was on Avo Hotel, and I just had that realization. I was like, I'm bisexual. But it wasn't like realizing you were attracted to the same gender type. It was just, I finally had a word for it, you know. I finally could pinpoint it, and that was very peaceful. So I guess I never had that huge realization. Like, I never just like got that slap in the face. I was in denial for a while, and I had a old best friend kind of slap me back into reality. But again, it was never that shocking. I mean, I always knew. I was just very slightly in denial. But that story is a little more complicated, and I'll have to inform you guys next week about it. But yeah, long story short, coming out to myself was not that hard. I always knew. At least I always knew when you're old enough to know your attractions. Mind you, I don't think it's fake when people realize late. Like, if someone realizes when they're 20, as long as they're not doing it to be, oh, because I hate guys and I don't want to deal with guys, or, oh, it's easier to date a girl, which, by the way, it's really not. It's like just as hard, if not harder. Alright, guys, get my point. But everyone's different. We're not put on this earth to be the same. And while I realized when I was very, 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 very young, some people just are not that fortunate or unfortunate, and they realize late. I don't really know what else to say. I look forward to the next week's days and how they came out to their selves. I'm sure that'll be very interesting. This is like one of the very first topics where I'm not able to give points for you to use, because it's pretty much at this point in the topics you're giving your stories, like, you know what I mean, everyone was your story, but it's like a very detailed story, you know. You can't just be like, oh, this is how I did it, blah blah blah. You have to say it from point A to point B, if that makes any sense. But also, to anyone who's watching, if you would like to send video responses or comments and telling us how you came out to yourself and when you realized, because I'd like to know if I'm the only one who realized at a young age, or if it's not that rare. I'd love to hear from everyone. We haven't gotten a lot of feedback, and we mainly talk about ourselves right now because it's at that point with the topic. You gotta get to know us. But we would really, really love to get to know everyone who is watching this account. I'd love to hear stories, and if you ever need someone to talk to, I like to joke and I don't like serious stuff too much, but I like to help people and I like to be able to talk to people. And if you ever need someone to talk to about coming out and whatnot, because as you'll learn next week, it's fun thing. Just send me a message on my Tumblr or my Facebook, and I will put a link down there eventually. But yeah, I'm gonna let you go. Hopefully this video is not uber long, so I would like it to upload before 12. So you guys have a great Monday night and enjoy the rest of your week. Mwah!